Join me as we learn Chumash for Wednesday, Parshas Ki Sisa, the fourth Torah reading, chapter 33, verse 17. God said to Moshe, yesterday we learned that Moshe asked of God, that how does he know that God actually finds favor in Moshe? Is by the very fact that not an angel will lead the Jewish people, it will be God himself. And also that the Jewish people will be distinguished from all the nations of the world. Today's Torah reading, God responds to Moshe and says, yes, Vayomer Hashem al Moshe. And God says to Moshe, Gam etzadavar hazeh, this as well, Asher dibarta, that you said, as I will do, because you find favor in my eyes, Ve'da'acha b'shem, and your recognition is above all that you have honor by my name. Rashi, Gam etzadavar hazeh, also this, I will not have my divine presence on any other nation, as I will do. Ein dvarav shel Bilam, and even though, yes, the divine presence was never at anybody else. You may say, well, we find later on in the book of Numbers, Bilam was able to curse the Jewish people, wanted to, attempt to at least. How did he do that? That was not the divine presence. Ella neifel gluyanoyim. This was way in a awkward way. It was like stolen. Shemin al shliach was heard through a messenger. It wasn't through direct. It was like in a backward way. That prophecy was only given directly to the Jewish prophets, but the non-Jewish prophets had it in a backhanded way. Verse 18. Moshe continues. So Moshe says, Moshe saw he was getting that God was listening to his request. This was an opportune time. So he says as follows, he said, God, let me behold your glory. 18. And Moshe saw that this was a special time, and that God was listening to him. And therefore he asked, to be able to see the glory of God. Verse 19. So God responded, Ani avir kol tuvi. I will make all my goodness pass before you. V'karasi b'shem, and I will proclaim my b'shem Hashem, I will proclaim my divine name lefanecha before you. V'chanoisi es asher achoin, and I will show favor, and I will choose to show my v'chanoisi es asher achoin v'dichamti es asher arachem. I will show favor, and I will choose to show favor, and I'll show mercy, and I will choose to show mercy. Rashi, v'yomer ani avir. It came the time that I should show my honor. Which I give permission to you to see. According to what I want you to see. And I will show you the way of prayer. Because when you needed to ask mercy for the Jewish people, you mentioned the merit of your forefathers. You thought that if we completed the merit of the forefathers, then there is no help for the Jewish people. And therefore you were concerned that if you're not going to listen because of the forefathers, then who will you listen in honor of? And therefore he says, Ani avir, kol midas tuvi alecha. I will reveal to you all of my attribute of mercy, alatsur, on top of the mountain, vatatzafun b'mahara, while you are hidden in the mountain, meaning I will teach you how to pray, that you will be able to say this prayer and thereby ask for forgiveness of the Jewish people. To teach you the order of asking for mercy, that if, God forbid, even the merit of the forefathers will be used up, this way that you see me embraced, wearing, and also wearing like a chazan, saying the 13 attributes of mercy, and can teach the Jewish people to do so as well. Because when the Jewish people will mention before me these 13 attributes of mercy, rachum v'chanun, that I am merciful and that I forgive. Yunanin, they will be answered, because my mercy will never end forever. In those times that I want to show mercy, in those times that I want to show favor, I will show favor. When I want to show mercy, what God was saying over here, he didn't guarantee that always it will be accepted. Sometimes I will and sometimes I won't. But when he was teaching him the 13 attributes of mercy, God said, I'm going to make a covenant. That means at this point, God said, when I want to show favor, I'll show favor. When I want to show mercy, I'll show mercy. But later on, when God actually teaches it, he tells him, when you use these 13 attributes of mercy, he guarantees him that they will never return empty-handed. Vayomer, verse 20. Vayomer, and how God said further, however, you will not be able to see my face. Because no man can see my face and remain alive. Rashi, even though I'm going to show you all the favor in front of me, though I'll teach you how to pray, and I'll teach you how you can ask mercy, and I'll show you favor and all the good things. But there's one thing you can't see, is God's face. Meaning to see the extreme expression what that means. Verse 21, Vayomer Hashem, and God says to him, Hine mokem iti, there's a place that you will stand and communicate with me. V'nitzafta latzur, and you'll stand, and you can stand on the rock there. Rashi, Hine mokem iti, Bahar, on the mountain, asher midaber itchem tamid, that I talk to you always. There's a place specifically for your needs. I'll put you there that you should not get damaged. And where you stand right there, you'll see whatever you can see. That's a simple interpretation. And the Medrash explains as follows. That it's talking about when the word there is a place in there, a place that you will stand, it's talking about where the divine presence speaks to God. Wherever you are, God is with you. I am in that place. Because God is the place of the universe, not the universe is God's place. Verse 22. And when my glory passes by, and I will place you at the crevice of the rock. And I shall shield you with my hand until I have passed. Rashi, what does this mean? When I come to you, when I come before you, in the crevice of the rock, where we see the word crevice, as it says, should the eyes of those people of Nasan and Avir carve them out. I carved at a place and I drank water. The word nikras means a crevice to carve out. I will place my hands. Means I will protect you. Those that I give permission to those to try to destroy. And I have a targum doesn't mean showing in the respect of God that he doesn't have to literally protect them, but meaning I will place my hand on you, I will protect you. Meaning that even though that they have permission to try to hurt, but I will protect. Verse 23, I will remove my hand. You'll be able to see my back as I continue to pass, because God says, I will pass before you while you're in that crevice of the rock. But my face will not be visible. What does that mean? The Targum explains, I will remove, when I remove my honor, my glory before you, to go away from there. And I keep on going, so I'm passing before you. As I pass there, you will see my back. And the sages explain, what did Moshe see? Had a kesher tefillin. Moshe was able to see the neck of God where the tefillin is placed. Now, of course, this is a metaphor. God doesn't have an image. He's not wearing tefillin. But to understand what that means, that he was not able to have the great divine presence of what would it be from seeing in the front, but as God passes, he was able to back, as we know that God wears tefillin, whatever that means metaphorically and allegorically. But that's what God was telling Moshe, the level of relationship and what Moshe was able to achieve and see within the godly presence of God. This concludes the fourth Torah reading of Parshas Ki Sisa.